Greetings everyone, and welcome to another WIS Technology tutorial. In today's lesson, I'm going to kick off a series of videos on getting started with Google Classroom. This morning we had our first in-person training session, and I thought this would be of great value to those of you who attended and to those of you who have not yet attended a training on Google Classroom. So this simple video is going to simply show some of the navigation in order to sort of wrap your mind around what's happening in Google Classroom. So I'm going to try to keep this short, and I'll just do several of these little videos to get us going. So the first thing you're going to see is when you sign in for the very first time, Classroom is going to ask you to decide what is your role in the school. So you're either a student or a teacher, and you as teachers, you're going to go ahead and select teacher. And really the main difference is the teacher gives you the power to actually create classes in Google Classroom. So this is merely a screenshot of what that screen looks like, because I've already done this in my own account. This was the only way I could bring this image back up. So once you've identified yourself as a teacher, you're dropped into a dashboard looking environment, probably blank unless you've already enrolled in some classes at some point in the past. But here you can see I've got two classes. I've got one here that's called Google Classroom Training, and then I have another one that's called 7 English. Both of these are fictitious classes that I use for training purposes. But just the simple fact that I signed into Google Classroom, something has happened to my Google Drive. And if we come back over here, you will notice that I have a folder called Classroom. And this is in your best interest to actually leave the folder structure alone. Kind of let Classroom do its thing. If I drill down into this folder, you're going to notice something else. I have a folder per class that I'm teaching in Google Classroom. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, I only saw 2 on that front screen, but I see 3 here. What this is telling me is that one of my courses has been archived. So if I go back over to Classroom and click over here on the hamburger button, and I can go down to my archived classes, I can see this is a class that is no longer active. Okay. But the point is that for every classroom you have, there is a Google folder within that classroom. And if we go down even further, let's explore the Google Classroom training section. These are typically the assignment folders. All right, this isn't organized per student. This is organized by assignment. So I can go into a folder and I can see all of the assignments that have been submitted by the students for that particular assignment. You'll also notice a templates folder. For those of you who have used Doctopus to deliver classroom assignments, this is much of the same thing. This is where all of your templates will be parked automatically. You don't have to do anything for this. If you create a Google document that you would like every student to have a copy of and to edit, this is where that template will be created and then sort of copied to each student in your class. And again, this is not meant to be modified. So that's kind of a sense of what's created on the back end in your Google Drive. In a later video, I'll talk about how the permissions vary per document based on its current state. So in other words, when assignment is first pushed out, the student is the owner of that document. And as I said, in a later video, we're going to watch how those permissions change once the due date has passed or the assignment has been graded and then returned. So there's a whole process of handing over permissions and ownership from the teacher to the student, back to the teacher, back to the student, so on and so forth. But that's another video. simply going to navigate back to my dashboard page. Again, if I wanted to archive a course, I could simply go over to the three dots and then choose archive or rename it if the course name has changed. If you look over to the right-hand side near the account, you can see a plus button. Here's how you would actually create a brand new class or join an existing class. If you click join a class, you will need to enter in the code that is presented in that classroom. So usually you as the teacher would project that code onto the screen and the students would join in that way. Once they've joined your class, you can kind of look in, and this is where I'm going to stop this video and continue in this environment in the next one. So thanks for watching. Bye.